This is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. After dark, as Mike likes to say, on Friday. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
You.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike. The train's rolling down the track right here in 2023. And despite any propaganda you hear from Tommy tonight, Jasmine Allure is still okay with me.
We would have also accepted Jasmine Allure is okay with Tommy at this point. Too.
No, we would not have. We would not have accepted that in any way, shape, or form.
As much as that has been the joke for a long time, I think after the show Saturday, that is definitely not.
This is why I don't trust. Okay, I just want to say this is why I don't trust, and I will never trust again after what happened.
But look, there are some things that have to be discussed that I think were overlooked.
We're
Whatever.
Talk a lot about that. This is going to be, God help us. Look, I'm just going to call it out right now. Birdsey, ding dong, hello.
Hey! Nice. Yes, look, always down for a Bailey reference.
I'm going to say this right now. If you're watching us live, if you're watching this live, run and grab a drink, popcorn if you can eat it, whatever. Get ready for this one. If you're not watching us live, watch this after the fact. Pause this video, go grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and then come back and hit play on this one. We're going to be recapping, at least Mike and Tommy are going to be, Mission Pro Wrestling's KickStart My Heart that they both attended. And my God, there's some footage we have from there that I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Then, after that hour goes by, because it might take an hour, I have no idea. I'm trying to keep it slim. We're going to preview WWE Elimination Chamber, which is taking place tomorrow night.
There's not really any important storylines going on for Elimination Chamber. That might affect the next several months of wrestling. Come on. What are we here to talk about, really?
Look, let's just say if a certain thing doesn't go a certain way, we might have either a Montreal Screwjob Part 2 or an actual riot. If something
I was going to say
happen.
we might have the most polite riot.
Montreal is they're starved for a championship. Ask any Habs fan from there; they're starved for one. So, yeah. So, which by the way, shout out to Sami Zayn's shirt tonight. I hope WWE sells it. I need that for my brother-in-law. Just gonna throw that out there.
I saw right before we went live what you sent to us. I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty badass. So, but is there any wrestling news this week, or you just?
There's some things, like Jerry Jarrett passing away. Obviously very sad. Father Jeff Jarrett, and influential for his time as a promoter, and then apparently for his time after that, working with TNA at the beginning, and even apparently some with WWE and stuff. So
I think he really was like helping when Jeff Jarrett started TNA. I really he was really helping foot the not so much foot the bill, but just really get him like show him the ropes. And I think after probably the first year, he kind of just stepped back and let Jeff run it from there. But I mean, props to him. I mean, no matter what people say, and this is where I'm like, people always get on Jeff Jarrett. I was like, yeah, but he still created something that's still effective in pro wrestling to this day. 20 years later, and whether he's in charge of it or not, when they started TNA, no one knew what was going to happen. To this day, I'd still argue they're one of the best wrestling-wise, best on the planet. If you're talking strictly wrestling, you got to include Impact as one of the best.
The funny part is, even after he left, he was still a shareholder, a pretty prominent shareholder. I think with Anthem buying it, I don't think he is anymore. But either way, even when he was under contract with WWE, he was still making money off of Impact and TNA's business as well. So, which is a lot of reason why WWE was able to get some of that footage onto WWE Network where they were doing like the Table for Three thing with AJ Styles and all that stuff as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I was just going to add also a little Texas connection. He wound up purchasing the remnants of World Class Championship Wrestling. The world famous Texas promotion out of the late 70s and 80s, the Von Erichs and Freebirds and all that. After the unfortunate events of a lot of the Von Erichs, and that promotion kind of started falling. He purchased. I was reading some of this online this past week. He purchased that toward the ends and kind of turned that into what became the USWA, which, if I remember correctly, is kind of where Jeff came up first and started, his. And the funny thing is, we talk about how long we watched wrestling. I remember, like, I don't remember specifically which magazine it was, but a wrestling magazine talking about like Jeff Jarrett, the future of wrestling, way back.
That's amazing.
Late 80s, early 90s, when he was a young guy. So it's crazy to see that. But yeah, I mean, Jarrett overall, just definitely a big influence on wrestling.
Well, Jeff started when he was like what, 17, 16, 17
Probably.
years
I mean,
old? Yeah, he was
probably,
young.
in the family. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember what age, but I knew. But by the time he got anywhere, he'd already been doing it for a long time. So, and I feel like when you really trace back USWA, I feel like everyone started there, and just like no one ever talks about it anymore. And like you're like, first match USWA. So like, was this just a draw for everyone who we consider great now? What the hell?
Well, it was one of those last territories that kind of survived the initial. WWE takeover of the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
pretty amazing stuff. Rest in peace, Jerry Jarrett. A lot of messages coming out there about his passing too. And I that really is kind of the major wrestling news thing. And let's just move right into it. NPW, Kickstart My Heart. Mike and Tommy, you guys were there. Before y'all start arguing, I just want to say, I wasn't able to attend as I've mentioned many times on this show. Being a parent with kids in youth sports, it kind of takes up a lot of your time, especially this time of year being spring. So, but
dude, even as a stepfather, I'm just like being a parent, period, and you've got two of them, and like so, dude. My hat's always off to you, dude. How you have time to do this amazes me all the time.
I'll put it this way: about an hour and a half before the Super Bowl started, my son had a basketball game, and my God, it was
right.
Yeah, it was. It's just insane to me. Like, I should be getting ready for a Super Bowl party, but I actually was not hosting one this year because I was going to go to my sister's. But
you just telling them to run the clock the whole time?
It's CYO, so it kind of does run. The games take about 45 minutes. But there was one kid, of course, his team is playing the defending city champs at this age level. My son's 5. In this league, because they're so young, you can't press until they pass the 3-point line.
Okay.
They literally had a kid just spotting up from threes, and he was shooting. Like, I thought some of them were going to go in. They never went in, but apparently, like, I overheard he'd made some before. Like, they had a kid that was just from downtown, literally. Yeah.
I get it, and I know it's a huge culture of sports, especially in like Texas with certain things. But like the ones that have their kids like that talented at such a young age, and
I'm just saying the kid's probably too good for CYO at this point. You might as well put him in NYS or something else.
Or he's 7, but
I know. Right?
Hey,
the birth certificates. I'm 12.
Yeah. Look. Before my stepdaughter graduated, I went to some because when she was in like they're called Sky Dancers, like the cheerleading group. I went to some of these games, saw some of these high school kids. Look, these children, and look, starting from your son's age, JC, up. I don't know what's being fed to them. I don't know what Captain America serum they're taking home. But
in my son's case, it's a lot of Oreos, granola bars, and the occasional banana and applesauce.
That sounds.
Your son's more akin to Spider-Man than like Captain America, I'd say.
Yeah, he is.
And I mean that in a lot of all the best ways possible.
Yeah.
Tom, you say that real quick. Have you ever seen that video of Zion Williams in high school where like they bring in this like freshman or literal like
Yes.
eighth grader who's like half his size, this little kid, and Zion just looks down at him like
come on, bro. That kid just
and
took
he's
it
trying
to
the
him.
whole time, and I think he comes back and hits like a 3 or something. But
oh god,
yeah, that's what it seems like sometimes. But anyways,
yeah, it's just I'm glad the kids are playing multiple sports at least. But
yeah.
That's cool.
All right, let's get to NPW though, guys. You were there. Initial thoughts on it? I know I was getting messages that said, "Hey, JC, you called it." I'm assuming this is about the main event.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll
get to that.
I have some thoughts about that too, man, because you don't even know what's going on at these shows, and yet I hate you. But
yeah.
Well, I have an idea what goes on at this show.
No, I know you do it. I was just joking, but because I told Tommy at the show. But anyways, starting at the beginning, they had a 4-corner tag team dark match with hybrid guys, including the Texas Treats, of course. And let's start there. The hybrid guys always killing it. Very talented group that they got coming out of there. Just fun, like good mixture of like they know how to wrestle, they know their stuff, and they're getting some pretty good characters going. Like it's entertaining. Of course, Don Juan and Marvel, they're pros. Obviously, they're the coaches pretty much, or they are. I mean, Marvel obviously, and I guess Don Juan helps a lot. But and Tommy, would you agree? This started an evening of strange cheering. Like we talked about this at the show too. We wound up in really odd. We're like, I don't think I would usually cheer, but you cheered on Zakai. You congratulated him.
I did. That should have been my indication the night was going to be weird.
Yeah,
because I cheered for him. Well, I got you for him because Eric Walker got, like everyone's finisher and kept kicking out or was getting saved. I was like, first of all, this is not fair. Like, because everybody's beating up one of the black guys. I'm extremely uncomfortable. I wanted to yell so badly, dude. Did y'all think his name is Tommy? What the hell?
And in Black History Month too. That's messed up.
Well, that was mentioned a few times.
Yeah, it was.
Also, the Karate Kids are great. Jesse James trying to teach David Kidd how karate and how to like be calm and good character stuff there.
David Kidd is going to be the Seth Rollins, Matt Hardy, and Chris Jericho of Texas. And in that, I mean, he's a new gimmick every year, and it's all going to work.
But yeah, just a really fun start to the show. It was a dark match, so technically it that was on before they went on live title match. For the show, but always great stuff coming out of Hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the picture I sent you about your boys. The Men's Revolution started with a promo. So Jason, I tell you this a lot, but whenever we go to wrestling shows, obviously the heels trying to get you to boo them and interact. That's their whole.
Yeah, that's the standard. Yeah, for sure.
I always think back, and I wish I could get a big crowd to the Section R newspaper thing of the introductions. Like when the heels try to get that heat, because when they were going, like me and Tommy were sitting on opposite sides of the entryway, which was great. So when they're coming by, I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, this is boring. But of course, everyone's yelling at them. And toward the end, you couldn't understand their promo in the place because the crowd was booing. We got a boring chant started at them. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, the fact that they have this much nuclear heat is amazing to me because it's great. It's simply the fact that they just kind of played into this and I gotta think that stage you're like, oh my god, this is the most stereotypical BS. I can't believe we're gonna say it out loud. And then of course the curtain was like, aha, man, good, women bad. So it's like so. I mean, it's the hokiest stuff that but they play it in such a nasty, dastardly way that it just gets them over. JP Hall is easy to hate.
And then Tommy, I don't know. See if you agree with me on this. Harlow has no problem saying things back. I feel like Hyder is honestly probably a really nice guy in real life because I feel like he really has a hard time going to over the top in his comebacks. They're very like I don't mean that in a bad way to anyone. Like we're
No,
and he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like he won't cuss at you. He
yeah,
won't,
I
noticed. Not that
I completely agree. I think he could only be a heel so much. It's like he's got to even because like I think his own conscience is like I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that. But Harlow's like no, say that. He's like what you said, but he can't say it himself.
He's trying to draw it out of him. So
he is.
It's first of all, it's a sign of a good heel when you have that much heat, even if it's a small promotion. Like it's a sign what I mean because this kicks off a show, so the fans are invested in the story. They're following it, which is great. And to have that guy heat and go Stros, bro. If let's repeat
I love how
this
you know nothing else about this match.
I don't need to know. I don't need to know. The trash look. Okay. I embraced that. When the whole situation of the Stros came out, I was like, cool. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is literally called Banging the Can. Banging the Can. That's literally all. This guy talks Houston sports. I don't listen to the Astro season because fuck the Texans and fuck the Rockets. But when he's talking Stros, like, I'm in it. It's great. And I'm like, cool. I wish as a fan I could take a trash can and just bang it the hell up in Minute Maid Park. I would embrace that. As a fan of the Stros, I was like, let's fucking embrace it. And to be a heel fan, which, by the way, hello, Dodgers fans. All that news is coming out that you fuckers were cheating too. Why aren't y'all saying anything now?
Oh, what a shock. Other teams were cheating.
Yeah. No way. So the Stros were the scapegoat. Shit I've been saying for years. Yeah. Shit I've been saying for years.
Yeah, I'm not that
I digress. Yeah. My point is, embrace it, dude. It's freaking great.
They really are.
Yeah.
And then just to add to that heel heat, the women's locker room, not just the three they were facing, like most of the women came out of the curtain and they pushed the hybrid security to the front of the ring to hold them back. So they could exit out the back.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify. I think it was just the guys in the hybrid security. I think all the girls didn't even bother.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. And I made this comment to Tommy. Shout out to the two hybrid the female girls trainees that are by the curtains. They stand there so straight-faced and like no emotion to anything that like and because every time I'm turning around to see who's coming in, they were in my picture. So when I load pictures, I have to like crop a bit. But they're just so straight-faced and don't react to anything. I was like, some good training there.
Yeah.
They must. I'm sure Marvel's first thing is stay straight face. So rule of that: never ever pay attention to anything Tommy says. That's just a general rule of thumb. Actually, if you want to be successful in this business, don't take anything he says personally. If you do, you're gonna quit tomorrow.
I want to
believe Marvel, you might take seriously, but I don't know. I just I'm just saying.
I was gonna say I want to believe Marvel has like a compilation tape of you from shows just like playing out loud while they're having matches. Look, you got to wrestle through it.
Yeah.
Harvey thinks that you're right though.
But okay, so that's kicked off the show. Let's start with the continued like. I thought I was gonna like the weird cheering. Ultraviolet versus MJ Santana is the next match. We were hyped to see Ultraviolet. Like Tommy kind of talked before the show. He actually got to talk to her, but like she was a new person. It's her first time in MPW. MJ Santana's young. She's been in MPWs for several shows. But Ultraviolet comes out, and MJ Santana's kind of short. And right at the bat, Ultraviolet goes, "Oh, I thought everything was bigger in Texas." And we're like, "Oh, we got to boo you now. You're turning on Texas. God dang it." But yeah, it was a great match. Ultraviolet's very impressive. MJ Santana had a great showing. Pulled off a pretty vicious submission.
That one was nasty. I like that.
It was basically like the rings of Saturn, but like the arms were pulled back more, almost like.
Well, it's also because she had like a head scissors too.
Yeah, I think one of the pictures I posted in one of the threads had a picture of it, but pretty vicious submission there. So yeah, good match there. The next one after that, another one of Tommy's favorites for the
was not hard at all. This one was not hard at all to figure out who to boo or who to cheer. Not at all. Not in the least.
Casey Blackrose versus Diego Rene. Another couple of hybrid guys. Diego Rene is very impressive. I feel like Casey's getting that good push out of hybrid right now on the MPW shows.
He's a dick, but anyway, keep going.
Hey, and he pulled off I think I found it online. It's called the Broken Dreams Backbreaker.
Okay, I'll give it to him. That was nasty. That was nasty as hell. I'll give him that. So.
Sounds nasty. It's just the title.
He has 2 variations, or a couple of variations. So he's a backbreaker kind of guy in his arsenal. So this one was what, like a full? Was it the full Nelson swinging into it or something like that?
It was like a pump handle. I thought swinging into it. I might be wrong.
There was a couple. Yeah, he had a couple. So
because he did it really impressively. It was real fluid with him. I actually got to watch it again. I was actually impressed. I was like, holy crap. I'll give him that one. I still hate him, but I'll give him that one.
And isn't that also the match where he tosses Diego onto the steel steps, right?
Yes, that was then because we didn't see it, but we heard the hell out of it. It was so loud. We were like, oh, that was a bad sound.
Someone posted later. Uh-oh, Jason, yeah. I don't know what he's about.
Back rows.
Oh, back rows.
Back rows. There we go. Yep.
My mind automatically corrected it. Yeah, I like that. My mind automatically corrected. I was like, I don't see anything wrong with this.
Yeah.
But a great win by him. He's doing real impressive. Tommy, the tag team #1 title match. You wanna
Okay. There were clear heels and faces in this match. And don't get me wrong, I love Gigi Ray and Lady Bird Monroe. Love them.
Moneybirds.
But their opponents were Claudia and Shiva, Vicious and Delicious. Now, I will not boo Claudia and Shiva for several reasons. The first reason being they will beat me up because they know me and will beat me up. The second is I love them both dearly and cannot in good conscience, even if their heels boo them. I just don't have it in me. So yeah.
Could, but you don't. Yeah.
I could. It wouldn't be genuine, but I boo like Casey. That's easy and that's real. You know, that's real hatred from a real place.
Wow.
Oh come on! Whatever.
Again, in a very similar fashion. Granted, he plays. You know, he does a good job with his heel, but the few interactions I've had with him. Seems like a cool guy to me. I don't know.
That's why I can sell this about him. Because
when we get to the main event, doing some research, I think I know the reason now, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh God.
Okay, let's talk about this next match because
Tiffany
Nieves has become a favorite of yours.
Yes.
Alejandra Lyon, great talent, really like showing up around Texas. Has been at NPW a bunch. This out of nowhere became this real personal street fight. Apparently, like Alejandra did like a promo online, just like I'm gonna come and claw you because like I'm the queen of the jungle or whatever. And Tiffany took that personal, and again, she and I want to say this part jokingly, but you can't kind of joke about it because she came out, talked about there are tag teams that doesn't need any tag team rules.
That's true. Yes.
But did this hard, like impassioned speech about like fighting and not backing down, and then threw out and we heard this last time, but she's a cancer survivor.
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, crap, I can't. Yeah, I mean, not that I was going to boo her anyways, but like, I guess we're behind her now. And then Alejandra came and attacked her from behind, so it played into the heel role. But they were laying in shots. Alejandra, as a Lion, has a very claw-based offense and lost several nails in the process.
Yeah, we saw two of them fly off and one landed in front of us.
Nice. Lee press on.
They were laying in some shots with each other. Like
I joked midway through. Let's just make this a false count anywhere match. Can we just make that call right now? But you know what? I just thought of this, and I gotta be honest. I think with Lion, she's always trying to be a heel everywhere she goes. Yeah. Because and I hate to bring this up, but I feel like it kind of helps. Like the real life stuff that happened to her last year, and she gets a lot of sympathy for that. And I think she really does want to be a heel where she goes places because of course when the cameras are off and it's not a show, naturally she's a great person.
Oh yeah, she's really sweet.
and of course the dude who did it to her, he can fuck himself for all I care. With a hot poker. But anyway,
yeah.
But her with the DFW cartel with Lou Gotti, Nastico, their heels everywhere.
Yeah.
I think she just tries to, and I think whatever she can do to get herself over, have Tiffany Neves call her out, jump her from behind, make it a personal, all that kind of stuff, just to get people hating her. But the problem is Alejandra is like you say, Black girls in real life, she is like the sweetest person. So again, I can boo her, but it's not genuine.
Yeah, no. A couple shows ago, like the first time that I saw an NPW show, I got in line for her, and I went in line to buy an 8x10, and she just went like, "Wait, were you booing me or cheering me?" And I was like, "I was cheering you." All right. Then she just laughed.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
And she's like that. It's like she does that kind of stuff. It's like, but you're a sweetheart anyway, so you're not full. She's like, no, I'm evil. Damn it, I'm really evil. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I just don't believe you that I'm evil.
Yeah. So that was a hell of a match. Tiffany wound up winning that one, but yeah, that one got real vicious and personal. We're like, oh.
Yeah.
But great
now, let clear. It was fun as hell, personal. Like seriously, run that shit back. But it got personal real quick.
And then, next match, Emmy Camacho was supposed to face. Was that Neo Cieves or was that
Cio Nieves?
So something happened. She couldn't make it. Winds up fighting a new person, at least to us, called Uju, who we find out apparently from Brandon or someone trained by Athena. Yeah. So pretty cool.
And the funny part was after he said it, we immediately saw it. Like after he said it, it was immediately evident Athena trained her.
She's throwing his shots. But here's the funny thing with Emmy, okay? Last show that Emmy was at, she comes out and I think she's literally announced as like wholesome Emmy Camacho. And then she cheats to win her match. And I was like, that is not wholesome at all. So I come in this match, assuming the same thing, and she wrestles a clean match, total face, like the crowd's behind her. There's some dude who brought a sign that said the Emmy era, and she's got family there, and I was like, oh, this is.
It's probably a cousin or a relative that brought that, but
I mean, family support
the crowd.
Yeah,
but she wrestled a wholesome, clean match, and I was like, I'm so confused tonight. I don't know what's going on, but match.
Yeah,
Uju's got potential. Uju looks like, she's got a little bit of size to her. Give her some time, some experience. She could really make some waves there.
Give her time, experience. I feel like we said this when Athena debuted. Like, give her time, experience. She's really good. And now look where Athena is. So.
Yeah, because Athena's debut was rocky to say the least. Whoa,
Bobby, look what just got.
Yes! Yes! Justice has been served!
Wow, Brian. Listen.
Thank you, Brian! Oh, I knew he wouldn't let me down.
Wow. That's some shot.
Victory drink!
Front Row KickStart My Heart was a great show. Yeah. And it was fun. Wow, there's some stuff we gotta come back to that. But before we get to that.
Oh, as I was saying about Athena, like I remember her debut, and it wasn't the best, but it was like there was potential. I'll remember it always because I remember she wrestled Rachel Summerlin.
Yeah,
and Rachel was frustrated. Like there was just a lot. It was rocky. It wasn't, very green and stuff like that. And Rachel got frustrated with it. This was like early on, but a year later they got to do it again, and it was a lot better and everything like that. It was
oh yeah.
Now that's like still to this day, like I remember it came up, like I think Tommy, you shared it. I miss Rachel Summer. Yeah, I still do too.
I was
thinking about all 100 on that one, definitely.
Yeah, it's like the second every time I see the picture, I'm just like, oh god, she'd kill it right now in this era, man.
Yeah, Rachel, wherever you are, if this ever comes out, like I know wrestling, it's and you may never go back to it. That's okay. But I personally, I would love, like, you're like a dream interview for me personally, because it doesn't even have to be about wrestling. It just be about life in general and everything on stuff that's happened in your life, because there was stuff that I was going through in my life too at that time, and seeing you wrestle, ACW, RCW, all that stuff really just got me through some difficult times in my own life too. So, but I would personally love to be able to interview you. I think we all would for this show. Just in general,
Hey, can we just hang out with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or you want to come down, no interview, nothing. Do you want to just have dinner?
Drinks at a restaurant and just go
Yeah.
sit and talk for a long time?
You were my daughter's first like autographs because she was such an infant when we couldn't make that show, and I want to say Jessica got it for us, but she has that in her room, and I'm sure she would take some inspiration from what you have.
And we'll all treat you. Yeah.
And
speaking of Jasmine Allure, I think that's what Jason's referring to. So
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And let me say this too, because these two guys know this very well. I am not one who befriends the wrestlers as easy as they have. Like, I don't have this list of people that I talk to about baseball and who want to beat me up for years and years. But of the few people that ever made me feel that comfortable, Rachel was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
When the person like reaches out and says hi to you before you say hi to them, because I know people don't believe this sometimes because I'm me on here, but I'm really actually pretty awkward until I get to know people, and I'm like I think too much, but like she was always super cool. And like we used to always take pictures and stuff at the Anarchy show. So yeah, I mean, yes, interview would be great, but also let's go hang out and have drinks and eat food.
Yeah,
seriously.
She was my go-to person when Tina and I got the ACW championship and the Joshi championship belts for our wedding reception too.
Yeah.
So
still
shout
one
out
of the
to
most fun things ever. That was so awesome.
Yeah,
I was very, very proud thing, and I just went straight to her to ask her, and I appreciated it so much. So there's some fun stories with that wedding for that too. So so I mean, it's been brought up. Should we get to the main event here? Is there a match before that we're missing? Yeah,
I know Tommy's also a fan of Danny Moe and Misty Marks.
Oh, okay.
I was so torn in this match.
Once again, Misty Marks comes out, and apparently before the show, like that day on Saturday, had attacked. There's a video online if you go follow Mission Pro social medias. She attacked Vicky Dreamboat at the venue when she arrived.
Yeah.
We'll get that again.
I'll answer that in just a minute, Neil. Don't worry.
Attacked her and then came out and basically said she's tired of outsiders coming to Texas to take their spots at MPW. Which earlier in the show, I defended Texas, and now I'm like, but that's not how we do it here in Texas. Like another torn.
I was torn because I told Danny Mo this too, because when she first debuted, I actually wasn't really that familiar with her. I'd heard her name once because of AEW Dark, but didn't get to watch that episode. And then I saw her and I was like, oh, she's really cool. Then I looked her up. She's super cool. She's really awesome. So I was glad I got to what Front Row just said.
In
she's
all fairness,
really
Front Row. That's true about many people, but yeah, Danny Moe definitely.
Fair enough. Delirious. Anyway, okay. But no, I was super looking forward to seeing her again, and of course she didn't disappoint. And then Misty Marks comes out. Well, I'm just like, well, now I don't know who to cheer for. So
yeah, but another great match. Both great talents.
Yeah.
And before we get to the main event, let me reiterate things that we've said. Mission Pro never disappoints with the talent they bring in. They do a great job of bringing new talent in almost every show. They do a great job, and they've been doing a great job of fostering young talent here in Texas. Your Emmys, your MJ Santanas, a bunch of the hybrid kids. I say kids because I'm an older person now, but I mean, they're still just great mixture. They have their pillars of people that are there over and over and over. They bring in new talent. It never disappoints, and I say that 100%. Like, it is.
Good. I'm looking at all the comments, and they're awesome.
I'm sorry.
And because I mean, look at even like how how far.
I got to keep up with this. My bad. So
no, good.
Yeah.
But look at how far like even Maddie Rankowski has come. But I know she was like originally just a hybrid student before Mission Pro really got started. But I mean, her and Rache Chanel is probably one of the best acts in wrestling right now because they're just fun as all get out.
If you go back and actually watch my interview I did with Don Juan pre-pandemic, seems so long ago. Maddie Rankowski was actually one of the names he mentioned as an up-and-coming that he was always impressed with.
Also, Maddie, are you okay after this weekend? Because I didn't notice a main character Monday show My Mondays have become better because I get to see you make fun of somebody for like 30 seconds. So I hope everything's okay. Hope it comes back.
She was heartbroken at the stupidity that happened in the main event. Oh yes, let's talk about it.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, let's get to it.
Mother.
Whoa! Look at
Can we
that.
start with that?
Look at
Hang on. Let me make this bigger. Let's try again.
Listen carefully, guys. Listen again. Watch this video.
That will never. Stress this enough. That will never again.
Look at that.
Good. Watch the video. Enjoy it. Watch it all you want. Replay it. It'll never happen again.
Look, it may never happen again, but it happened once and it's on video, so it's going to happen over and over on this show potentially.
It will never happen in real life ever again. Do you hear me? Never again.
First of all, Brian, y'all do a great job, and that's like we were saying, and we appreciate it so much, man. These shows have been great. Jason, look.
I hate this show. I hate this show so much. Why do I do the show every week? I hate this show.
Because you love us.
I hate this show so much. Why do I subject? This is torture that I willingly put myself through. That's what this is.
I mean, no one forced you. No one said, Tommy.
I appreciate you, though. I really do. So, but
front row, Jason. I can't right now.
So let's get into it, right?
Plunged the knife into my heart and twisted it.
We got a 6-man. We got the Men's Revolution. They've been talking their smack about MPW not being fair to men.
Although that's the only place they can get booked to our main event, but we'll keep moving.
Some we may call, basically. Let's go back to this because we've talked about this before. Basically, 3 talent that are like Thunder Rosa stamped of approval. Brought them out a couple shows ago to praise them, and it's Bougie Reality, Jasmine Allure. I feel like there was one other person, Maddie probably.
Well, no.
Bougie. Sorry, yeah.
Wasn't it Genocide? One of the.
Yeah, Genocide probably too, because I think she said Genocide was there since the first show.
I think she was.
Yeah, but so Bougie Reality, Jasmine Allure stepping up on side of Mission Pro to defend them, and Thunder Rosa has come out from the beginning and said, she said this at show, she intended Mission Pro to be a place for women to feel safe, to grow women's wrestling, to help them out, and that seems to be exactly what they're doing. Yeah, like it's they're the 3 up here defending. They're 3 of the top stars in MPW. I don't know, Tommy. Do you want to talk about the match first before we get into some propaganda I'm sure you're going to spew?
The match first. The match itself was fine. Hyder, Harlow, and Baines are they're okay. I guess. By the way, Baines has a match coming up March 4th against Rodney Mack. I can't wait for this. Yeah. Let's see. So that smile will be after that match. We'll see. Anyway, but for what it's worth, Jasmine Allure can wrestle. She's pretty good.
Let's be honest.
You were cheering for her, so
Jasmine and Bougie, they were fired up. They brought a ton of heat with them. Not like that kind of heat, but like fire and passion, and they were not backing down from the guys at all.
Yeah.
They were bringing it. But let's get into what kind of happened, because once the match gets going, there comes a point where and look, we've all watched wrestling for a long time. We've seen tag matches. Jasmine got stuck in the ring, cut off from her partners. Is not able to, like she was not able to get a tag for a good bit. She was taking a lot of punishment in that ring, surviving, didn't get pinned, didn't submit. Now, all right, so I'll go to a rational person, JC.
Yeah.
You've seen this done many times in a tag match, right?
Mhm.
The babyface is getting beat down in the ring, if you will. The bad guys, the heels, they know that hot tag might come. So what does the partner on the apron do? They sneak off.
Sneak off to either pull the partner on the other side down from the teammate, or they distract the ref so he doesn't see the
so
tag.
I feel like this is an important point that some people are missing. So in the match, Baines and Hyder get knocked off from their corners. Then they slither like little snakes, like little crawly insects, under, around the ring. Jasmine has a chance to make a hot tag. And right as she's going to leap, what happens? They pull Maddie and Richie off the corner. Don't get the tag. FTR used to do it all the time as heels. Midnight Express used to do it a lot too. Classic evil heel tag team stuff. And so Jasmine is left in the ring again. Take some more punishment. Eventually gets a tag. Richie comes in. And let me say, Tommy, let's come back. Richie, hot tag. Her doing the double. What does she call it? The
I can't remember what
the drive. I know it's like sometimes called the drive-by kick by some people, but
but I don't know. I can't remember what she calls it.
It's a funny name, but the boots in the corner. She did it to both people. Another thing that maybe played against Bougie was Maddie on a House of Fire decided to beat. Was it Hyder or Baines all the way back beyond the curtain?
It was Hyder.
Right, it was Hyder, right?
Yeah,
she went House of Fire and was just like whooping his ass all the way back behind the curtain. Maybe should have stayed around ringside, but she was on fire. And then let's hear from Tommy. What happened in the closing moments of the match?
I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know if I should say. Why? Wait. What did you see that happened?
I saw Richie was then in the ring. Jasmine was on the apron. And Richie needed the tag. And she's going to make another hot tag. And right as she's about to get to Jasmine jumps off the apron. Doesn't let her tag. Starts talking a little bit of trash to her. Now, Tommy, will you agree with me on this? We were right there by the Bougie and Jasmine's corner. Or closer to them.
Yeah, we were there.
Would you agree that Jasmine was pretty much right in front of me after she jumped off the ring apron?
Okay, yes.
I heard
oh God.
Something to the effect of, how do you like it when someone's not there for you? I'm not saying what she did was right. What I'm saying is, look, JC, you've been around many strong-willed, stubborn, hot-tempered Latino women. We grew up with them. We know them. Sometimes they take things a little personally. Wasn't the best time to do that. And I think she felt like they abandoned her on that first one. She didn't know that the two dudes were crawling on the ring because they were being little crawly insects. So she felt like they gypped her on the earlier tag, and she was paying them back. Bad timing. I will not dispute that. It was the worst time to do it. But sometimes, front row. I mean,
look, is she normally a heel or a face in this?
She's normally a heel.
See, and Bougie Reality, if I'm not mistaken, they're heels too, or mostly.
They're tweeners.
Tween. They have the added tendencies, right? So
So since they won the
title, thank you, front row. Thank you for saying the truth.
I mean,
so definitely the wrong time to pull. And okay, Tommy, you also witnessed this, so I'll even admit this. Like I said, Jasmine is right in front of me, and me trying to be the voice of reason, I was just like, "Oh, why'd you do that? Why didn't you wait till after the match to discuss your issues?" And she turned on me, and she looked and she was like, "Don't you tell me?" I was like, "Whoa!" And look, we know that look Latino women get when they're mad at you, and I was like, "Nope." I was like, I didn't say anything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, Harlow, I think, illegally choked out Richie, but the ref, which by the way, we forgot to mention, for no apparent reason, the ref took Richie's bag away before the match. Yeah. Has anybody looked into the fact that maybe the ref was on the take? Just throwing that out there. no reason to take Roche's
Is
bag
Brian
out.
still watching? Because I think he should look into that.
I'm just throwing that out there. Roche's bag has always been with her in every match, and now all of a sudden, the ref, and it was a female ref too, so I don't know if there's some sort of, if we want to talk about traitors.
Female refs like money just like male refs do, so I see why she would.
I mean, that's how Baines joined. Let's not forget, that's how Baines joined the Men Revolution. He was a ref and got paid off. So
whatever. I'm sure Baines was a ref. I'm sure he lied on his credentials, just like he probably lies about his weight.
His credentials was the same as the birth certificate from the what's the movie called?
Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers. Yeah, yes, I am a ref. See, thank you, Brian. It's
Brian, right there, Tommy.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Okay.
Criminal enterprise.
Let me just comment on this. I love this. Okay, you know when we first started going to indie shows, 2007, like I was really like, look, social media is a thing. Why aren't they using it more? Why aren't like wrestlers like using it as a way to cut promos, jaw with fans? Like you could do this kind of stuff, forums, things like that. Now we got shows streaming that. I like it. You can turn this stuff into stuff you can use on the show. Like Brian's gonna
remember when they
that.
still had message boards?
Yes, like use this stuff. Like God, how far we've come. It's amazing to me. It's amazing. So yeah, Brian, please investigate.
Let's talk about the aftermath, though, Tommy. What happened afterwards?
First of all, let's talk about how I was right because I did call this.
Okay, that's okay.
That drove us crazy. Like legitimately, I was mad. I was like,
no.
JC ain't here.
Yes, but in all seriousness, here's the thing. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Jasmine's been a heel. Bougie's been a heel for the most part. But in the shows I've been to, there has been nothing of their interaction that made me think there's a little bit of heat there. There's nothing. And then, like I said, Thunder Rosa brings them out, praises them as like these top talents. Like what I've kind of come to say is like they've been Thunder Rosa stamped a seal of approval. And then when you said that on the show, like last week, I was like, oh my God. And the whole weekend, I was like, if this dude,
I was remember thinking that too.
And we know you have reasons. We're not blaming this part, but like hasn't been to one NPW show. Hasn't seen, and like if he calls this,
look, I wish I could get some more indie shows, believe me, but I do try and keep up with the results. I try and keep up with everything. Brandon, it's been a while since I've been to RCW. I'm trying. It's you have kids. Life's difficult, and Thunder Rosa, I'm trying to get out there too. It's tough, but I keep up with it. But this is the first show of the year.
Yeah,
this is a storyline you can build an entire year of matches, of feuds on. Like this is going to be something amazing, and the whole Jasmine Lord, everyone's going to start blaming Jasmine for this. Tommy especially, even though he was just cheering her earlier, which the video is priceless. I'm just saying, like this is just smart. It just made sense,
I got you.
And I kind of called it too. Tina and I watch a lot of reality TV.
I know.
You know who fights more often amongst themselves? Women. Just plain and simple. Because you can have guys. I've watched so much of the challenge rivals when it's two guys on a team that just can't stand each other. They'll put it aside to work together to win, to do it for the team. You get two women that hate each other to try to work together, it's just not happening. It's very rarely going to happen. So, but you had women that just didn't respect each other. At least the guys themselves, they were all heels, sure, but they were a team. They were on a mission to prove it was a revolution.
Yeah, and Front Row's not wrong either. The men's revolution videos at Harlow and then we've been putting out were pretty fun.
Yes, so
there's some good stuff.
I'm honestly glad they went this route because I'm looking forward to see what they do. When it's got you guys invested, shit, it's pretty amazing.
Tommy, we'll talk about some more stuff, but I was thinking about this too because I keep bringing up this talent is Thunder Rosa approved. Well, assuming she's not, if she's banned, maybe she won't be there in April. I feel like when Thunder Rosa returns to the show, she might need to have a talk with her seal of approval kids. She might need to confront Jasmine and see what exactly was going on. Normally, I wouldn't mind being counsel for Jasmine, but I probably would be real afraid of Thunder Rosa. So that that I don't know.
First off, Okay, because I've let you say your piece.
Sure, go for it.
Allow me a moment for rebuttal.
Okay.
All right.
The whole in a tag team match complaining about not being tagged in. Allow me to say, and pardon my French here, bullshit. It's called a tag team match, and you're facing people who cheat. So you got left in the ring for a while. Big freaking shock. Oh my God. So the next time Nick Jackson, Kenny, and Matt, and they face, I don't know, inserts 3-person tag team here, and gets left in the ring by himself for a while, and then when Kenny needs to tag out and he's tagged to Nick again, I guess that means you just leave Kenny high and dry and just lose the tag belts. Because, that makes total sense. I am not done, sir! I am speaking, my good sir! My point is this, and it is thus. It's a tag team match with people who cheat. Get over yourself, you spoiled brat, and do the work instead of being, as I said, a spoiled brat. Thank you, sir. I yield the rest of my time to you, sir, and good day.
The best part of that is that Tommy's on delay. It looked like it was a Japanese dub. But I'm going to say this.
That is the best part.
No,
Ryan, we're actually trying.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be amazing. I'm not doing that interview.
I'll happily do it.
You better believe you're going to be there, Tommy. We're all going to be there.
The biggest thing you said, yes, it is a tag team match. The women were not a team. As much as you'll try and spin it, that was not a team. And I said it on the show last week. It's like you put women together that 2 of them were a team. The third, not so much. Hadn't really worked together.
You may not be wrong, but I don't know if I want to support this possibly sexist view you're throwing out here.
No, but they were a team. It's not a sexist view. It was just that they hadn't been a team, the 3 of them together. So,
and okay, so Tommy,
yeah,
you act like in the history of wrestling tag teams have never had a fight because someone was dropped off the corner and missed a tag and wasn't there. You act like that story has never been done before, and it hasn't happened. It has happened many times. You know WWE, who recycles the same storyline every 3 to 6 months? How many tag teams can they coexist? That is like top 3 of their stories over like 2015 to 2020 was like, can this tag team coexist? Literally their story like every other month.
First 6 months, you're giving them a grace period of about 2 months, no matter which way you slice that.
Yeah.
Secondly, while you have a point, it doesn't change the brat thing that I just said. So, whatever.
Look, she's young. I'm not saying she has faults by any mean. Okay, Brian.
Okay.
So there's some stuff I don't know. Obviously, this, I've only been there since last year. So,
and look,
now, yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to say this, Brian. I know you said Jasmine's band. She's going to be there one way or another. As much as you man try to say she's banned, she's going to be there. And
look for all aliases of front row tickets, Brian. Look for them.
Oh,
she's gonna buy a ticket.
I think I have a +1 for the next show, but
you son of a bitch!
I mean, here's my thing: like, who's gonna be bigger heat, Allure or Harlow?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
But
sorry.
What is?
You're asking a question.
What is the ultimate payoff to this? Is it a rematch down the line? There it is.
Front row.
But that was funny. It had nothing to do with Maddie.
I'm glad you brought that up, front row. If you don't mind, JC, real quick. Tommy, just out of curiosity, before she lost that title,
I remember that now.
Who did she beat to get the title? Because I think this comes to the root of your hatred for Jasmine Allure. This was the card I wanted to drop today. Tommy, who did she beat to win the MPW title?
La Rosa Negra.
And so imagine why you hate Jasmine Allure after all this time. I think I found the root of this story.
No, because I hated her long before that. So no, that just added to the hatred.
That was the exclamation point on top of that. I'm sure.
No, there was already an exclamation point there. That was the third one.
Jason, Bergie, those of you who have joined us for a while now, How long has Tommy been on here claiming his love for La Rosa Negra and how he went to his first MPW show because of La Rosa Negra? And then Jasmine Allure beats her for the MPW title. I think we find the reason Tommy doesn't like Jasmine. I think it's pretty clear there.
Well, hold on. Let me respond to that. Let me respond because let me say I have never.
I don't know what's going on here. Oh,
yeah, I have never in any way, shape, or form denied that was a factor. I have never did that, not once. That also still ain't changed what I said, that she is a spoiled brat. So
and we also recall what happened the first time I attended an MPW show. I pointed out the truth about her that you're now seeing for yourself. You're seeing what I was doing in the first place. I was trying to save you because what happened? She lied to you, and yet you're somehow still believing the lie, which is what I think she threw her voodoo at you. So whoa, what? Whoa, calm down there, buddy. I don't know about
that.
She's
evil. Look, she's evil. What else can I say?
Oh boy, here we go.
Brian, you beautiful person, you.
That might be a possibility, but let me give you my theory on how this is going to play out.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
You said this team had Thunder Rosa's stamp of approval.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling this is the year Rosa comes back to wrestling. And not just commentary at AEW, like she's getting healthy, and I'm sure that's going to stay quiet. The ultimate payoff to this may not be a rematch. The ultimate payoff to this may be in MPW, Thunder Rosa versus Jasmine Allure.
I'd
be okay with that.
It seems like Thunder needs to come and
and I know people are talking like Rosa could make a surprise appearance at Revolution in a match. Who knows? Obviously, the stories come out about her clearing the air with some of the AEW talent, of course. But this is, of course, the Rosa's baby, and that she's allowed the men's revolution has taken place, and it's kind of taken over. And all the squares blame is strictly on Jasmine for that, whether it's justified or not. That's to be debated, I'm sure, among fans. But this sets up you as much as you hate her, Tommy. She's one of the most over talents in MPW.
I never said she wasn't talented. No. I never said that. So, I said she was. I said she was a spoiled brat. There's a difference.
Okay.
MJF's a spoiled brat. He can still wrestle.
Sure, and she's been amazing from what I've seen of her in the ring.
Yeah. Oh no, she's amazing in the ring. She's a jerk.
Pisses you off, has my seal of approval. Is great. My thought though on this is just Thunder Rosa versus Jasmine Allure. If you set that up, whether that's going to be in the summer, fall, I don't know. Brian, if you want to talk to her about that, and she's getting healthy, I'm sure she wants that shot.
And Brian, if you want us to interview La Rosa Negra, I volunteer as tribute. Hey, look, I am shooting my shot now. I don't even remotely care. I can answer Front Row's question.
You go first because I had a thought too.
Go for it.
Who will be next on that list? Because I want him to die viciously, Holiday.
Boy,
I want to see him in pain. So Holiday. Of course. Let me be frank. I want to see Holiday do stuff all the time. I want to see her fight men, women. I want to see her beat up everyone on every roster because she can. So
she can.
Just Holiday.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because she can, and because who could stop her if she wanted to? So.
Also, the other night I was watching MPW's stream. I forget the name of it, but they got Veda Scott on there, by the way, which is super cool. And they were kind of recapping the show without giving full results. But someone kind of brought up in the comments, how can he call himself the top guy? He's not even the guy who has any kind of title in MPW. There is an MPW Cup champion. Casey Blackrose and JP Harlow, sign me up.
Oh, damn it. Do I have to cheer for Casey Blackrose now, too? What the hell, man? This is the most...
This is where they make you pick sides, bro. This is how it's great. I love
I think it's the video that completes the set, so, I mean, we got that going.
If I have to sit through Casey Blackrose versus JP Harlow, I'm not cheering for anyone because you would record it. No, I refuse. No.
Tell tell me you wouldn't mind seeing Harlow get hit with the Broken Dreams back?
That's not the point. It will be giving Casey credit for something.
Or
Do you know how much Okay, you know what? No, listen. Screw any video you would have. Do you know how much Casey would never let me live that crap down if he knew for what iota of a second I cheered for him? I don't care what video you would have. He would make a shirt that said, Tommy cheered for me once, Casey Black Rose be on the black.
Tommy, let's be honest. It's not the first time a wrestler has made a sign for you at a wrestling show. So, I mean...
Happy Heavenly Birthday, Sean Vex. Yes.
Yeah, happy Heavenly Birthday, Sean. And how dare you speak... What? A fourth member?
The referee, probably.
Probably. Oh, man. This is my most hated faction in wrestling, and they've been a thing for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, who's more hated, this Men's Revolution or the HNIC? Remember those guys?
Are you kidding me? The HNIC might as well have been the Bullet Club compared to what I'm dealing with right now. With these.
Okay, what about the Coalition of Caucasian Knights?
They still have. They still have.
Yes.
They still had.
If you're keeping track at home, the acronym for that group was COX. That's right. So, yes.
They still had a lot of funny guys in that group who were actually talented, like JP Harlow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
when they showed up.
So, Tommy, let's talk real quick about a little bit of the aftermath too, because there's some other funny stuff that happened. So, by the way, if you looked at some of the pictures I posted on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, I took a picture with Ultraviolet at the intermission, and you'll notice in that photo you can clearly see my Jasmine Allure T-shirt because that's what I was wearing. The one from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Top tier shirt, by the way.
Yeah. After that particular incident happened at the end of the show, a lovely, wholesome person who I have had nothing but positive interactions with called me out repeatedly, saying, "That's your girl. What you gonna do about that? That's your girl." To the point where I had to zip up my hoodie with the shirt. And if you look at the rest of my pictures that I took post-show, until I talked to Jasmine again, my hoodie is zipped up with Alondra, with Emmy, with MJ, who else? With Misty. Hoodie was zipped up because I never want to be called out by your wife again. That was soul crushing.
Look. My wife is half Filipino. I don't know how much more clearer I can make this to people. That's not the woman you make mad.
I didn't. I mean,
dude, you're wearing this shirt, bro. So she's still mad at Ricky Starks for what he made about me when me and her first started dating. She ain't forgiven him for that shit yet. And that shit was almost 10 years ago. By the way, Brian, please bring back Ultraviolet. I'm begging you.
For those wondering, Filipino women are basically Latinas. Let's just be honest with you.
No, like legitimately, they say that like her mom said it. They've said it's the Mexico of the Asian world.
It is. They're island Mexicans. Spain invaded.
Yeah, they're island Mexicans.
Took over, knocked up all the women, and then all that shit. That's basically what it was. So
Yeah, and they admit it.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear, Brian. They were a good group, man. Like,
all jokes aside, all storylines aside, everyone who Mission Pro, we said it last week, and I said that even though like some of their quote unquote top stars, even who was there, I still think top stars weren't there, like Genocide, Rosa, because they had other stuff to do, or whatever. At no point was the show ever disappointing. It was fantastic. It was a great show. I wish that would have been cool.
What's up, Legacy?
It was a Legacy.
You missed the screaming earlier. Go back and listen to that.
Turn for sure. And again, Brian, please bring back.
We haven't gotten a chamber yet, by the way. So
we haven't talked to Elimination Chamber yet.
All right. So one last story then, Tom, because I want to share this interaction. I'll share this part of the conversation. So I honestly didn't think that Jasmine was going to come out after the match. It seemed with the heat she got, right? So I'd gone to talk to other people, and then when I was in that last line, I noticed she was off to the side. Now, they said earlier front row about Bougie's line, which is long now. Jasmine's usually pretty similar. In fact, last show, I didn't talk to Jasmine because they were like 5 minutes left, and her line was like still 20 people long, and I was like, catch you next show.
She's
whatever.
over. Yeah,
she is. She really is. But this time, and granted, she came out kind of late. She was in the main event.
For good reason.
There was only like 3 people in line, so I was like, I'll go real quick because I want to talk to her about some other stuff. And I had my hoodie up. So the guy in front of me finishes talking, and I come up and I was like, I had to wear the hoodie up. And she remembered that I had a shirt, and she was like, what? She was like, how dare you? You wear that with pride. And like try to pull my zipper down. I was like, look, she was kind of getting mad at me, but let me tell you how I turned her around. She goes, whose side are you on? I go, hey, every show I've been to, Tommy's the one calling you bottom tier and saying the mean things. I've always been the one supporting you. And she went, all right, you know what? You're right. Maybe I let you down. I apologize. And so, Tommy, I think it's on you a bit there, buddy.
For the last time, and I can't believe I have to explain this, I don't wrestle, and I don't book anything. How is it my fault?
God.
And yet, who has a list longer in Texas of people that want to beat them up, Tommy?
It's not like I broke myself to get beat up. I just talk.
Probably Joey Spector has a list longer than Tommy's.
Yeah.
You asked. I'm just answering that question.
I could believe you came up with a name. Honestly, that's a good name, but I can't believe you came up with a name.
Throw that out there. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, guys, NPW, they're coming again in April. Get to the show if you can.
Yeah.
Title match, rewatch KickStart My Heart. See whose side you believe. Maybe the commentators brought up the facts of the match. We'll see. I haven't had the chance to. But yeah, no, seriously, Brian, it's a great show. We love it every time.
Yeah. Hands down.
Just such a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. 422 Edge of Glory. That's Oyster Bake weekend, by the way.
I'm on the
Edge of glory.
Yeah, I'm also definitely down with all the song titles for.
For sure.
I think that's the theme this year, so it's pretty nice.
Well, it's been because they had Hard Day's Night. They've had Welcome to the Jungle previously.
Yes.
So another great show.
Yeah.
Now, Neil, I think you asked. We were talking about Wood Joshi Championship. I actually got the picture uploaded. I'll kind of show you. So, my wife and I, this May will be 11 years of marriage, and
wow.
This May will be 11 years. Yeah. So we're 10 and a half years in, and we got married, and we had the reception. We're big wrestling fans. Part of how we met, and been at shows together, always front row, and. We had spoken to Rachel Summerlin about we had the idea to come out at our wedding reception with championship belts, but we didn't want to come out with the whole WWE Championship, Women's Championship, whatever, tag team, whatever. So I asked them if I could use at the time, ACW Heavyweight Championship belt, and my wife would get the ACW American Joshi Championship, which was their name for the Women's Champion. Which, by the way, I think the woman that held that title was at our wedding at the time, Angel Blue. I think she was champion at the time. I can't remember for sure. But she was.
I think she was.
Yeah. So she was also at our wedding. Yeah. But basically, they were all for it. And they got it to our friend Becca. Came to the wedding. The only time at the nicest Catholic church, like in the city, my personal favorite. And the only time you'll have somebody with a bag with championship, like she wasn't leaving them out of her sight. They were with her in the church.
Yeah.
And then she got them to us before the reception. We came out with the title belts. There's the picture of it right there. To ACH's entrance music at the time, which was The Show Goes On by Lupe Fiasco. I don't know if he still uses that, but
the show goes on.
That was, by the way, when before the Yes chant became such a big thing for Daniel Bryan, we were all chanting yes at that. So
it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So in addition to that photo booth, those championship belts actually became a good prop for the photo booth. Yeah. And the guys that ran the photo booth at our wedding was the first one they ever did. And they kind of saved us a little fun story. We had booked another photo booth. They overbooked. They couldn't honor it. We had gotten it through Groupon. They refunded it. But we reached out. Our wedding planner reached out to them. And they said, yeah, we'll honor the price. They were up and coming. And Party Time Pictures is the name of the photo booth. I think if you go to their website, there's the intro video has a lot of pictures from our wedding.
I believe promo.
Yes. Yeah. And after our wedding, they got championship belts for their photo props. And a couple years later, my sister got married. Like, you just mentioned my name to these guys, my and Tina's name, they'll hook you up. They did my sister's wedding. They had championship belts there. They had it was so much fun, and we run into those guys at Traders Village too, and everything. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the story. You read which Joshi championship. That was the one, AC American Joshi. And thank you to Rachel and to Darren Childs at the time for allowing us to use those championship belts. It's been a beautiful memory for us. There's a picture. We have the picture framed. It's in our house somewhere too. It's one of the best days of my life for sure. So, that's kind of the memory with that. So, and for a lot of people, this might have been the best day of their life too. For Jasmine, just got to throw that out there. Tell me I love you. I really do.
So Elimination Chamber,
guys. Let's get into it. Yes,
biggest storylines in WWE recent history.
Let's get into that too. It's funny. A year ago, we were talking about how bad the Rumble matches were because Shane McMahon had booked that shit. He was gone.
Sorry.
Remember that?
He tried to book himself over.
Yes.
Ridiculously. Yeah.
Like shortly after he was done with WWE, that was, whatever. And we were not looking forward to Chamber. We were not looking forward to Fastlane, which I believe is not even a thing this year.
Oh, thank God. Sorry.
Elimination Chamber, and then they're on to Mania.
Yeah. So, but this Chamber, which, by the way, is the first big major pay-per-view taking place in Montreal since 2009, if you guys can believe that.
Yeah.
So, this town has started, and the storyline has worked up great. Tommy, you were there for the Rumble. You saw where the kind of this spiraled into what was coming up here.
Yeah.
And my God, that's got to be the main event. Is going to be Roman versus Sammy. We're going to get into that too.
I cannot conceive it not being the main event.
Yeah, there's no way.
If it's not, then it's got to open the show, like you said. If Roman's out on the,
it's got to close the show.
but it's got to close the show, right? It's got to.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't open for sure.
I will say this before we go into. There was a video Mick Foley posted. He says, no matter how this ends, he's like, I hope they don't, like, he's essentially saying fumble the bag of this being the whole Sami Zayn story. No matter how the match, that's what he was essentially saying. I hope they don't blow it with this.
Yeah.
It's just because, and he's right. No matter what happens, however this goes down. This has been like the Sami Zayn era that we're all just lucky for us because, I mean, I get it. Roman's a champ and tribal chief, great stuff. But this has been the Sami Zayn era, baby. And it's been a beautiful thing to see. So,
well, we're going to talk more about that when we get to it. Right now, we're going to take some time to make some match predictions. There's 5 matches on the card. And this is going to be a fun one. It's interesting because this is the first Chamber I can ever recall where no major championship is on the line.
Just the U.S. title.
There's just a U.S. title, and there's not even a title on the line of the women's side of it. Theirs is actually for a title shot.
Right.
So it's interesting how this is going to play out.
But at the same time, I think it's cool they're doing the U.S. title because Hunter has tried so hard since he took over to make that and the Intercontinental title relevant again.
Yeah.
So, I think that's good though. I don't, not that you weren't saying that, but
and real quick, I got to give Triple H his props by the way he made the Intercontinental title win is he let Gunther or Walter be himself. Whatever. I still hate the name change, but I get it. They want to make his own thing, but they let him be him.
Yeah.
They let him be that destructive force that he was on the Indies, and there's nothing wrong with that. They want to kind of not have to kill his opponents, which I was determined was his goal in some matches. I mean, seriously, go back and watch his Europe. Good Lord. I think Back said, "Oh, will you chop me? Try to kill me." And Walter said, "Ha, bet."
I can't imagine too many people said it after the first time they saw him, but
yeah.
They said, "Yeah, no, I can take it." He chopped them. Okay, don't take it, please. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
That was soft one.
For real, I believe. I believe
I know
he said
he's
that
like
too.
Austrian or something, but for some reason I just got what's his name from Rocky Ford. I must break you.
Yeah, you got the little Russian thing. You got to think more Schwarzenegger.
True.
Let's go through this, and if you're following along, definitely make your predictions as well. And we're going to start with one that I feel like every time this guy happens up, it's long overdue. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Wow, if this had been years ago, people would have really enjoyed this one. I just keep saying that every time,
Yeah.
It's a little too late. Tommy, where do you go with this one?
Bobby Lashley. What kind of question is that?
I don't know. It's Lesnar, so.
I know, but I don't care if I'm wrong, and I fully expect to be wrong. But it's Bobby Lashley.
A hard pick, but
oh yeah, for sure, it's a hard pick, 100%, and I fully admit that. I also don't care that I'm wrong, but I'm picking Bobby Lashley.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, no, I'm right there. Bobby Lashley, like
now. Here's my reasoning on this one. If Vince was booking this, I'm taking Brock Lesnar, but since he's not, I'm taking Lashley. Yeah,
and
wow,
you're taking Bobby too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I've heard they've been, like if you watch Raw in the background, they've been teasing the full Hurt Locker, unless it happened this late. I don't think it did. Hurt Locker, Hurt Business reunion. But I also heard that they're considering bringing Carmelo Hayes up from NXT and throwing him in the group, which I think would be masterful. It had the potential to be a Rock-like thing with Carmelo because he's so good right now. But I think that would be interesting. And yeah, like I know when you look back, Brock Lesnar is going to be one of like the biggest draws and the biggest things in wrestling. But like right now, I don't feel a lot of like, I got to see this match. I want to see Bobby though, because I want to see him continue to go on a tear.
I feel like Bobby Lashley with most is that Brock Lesnar. I feel like Bobby needs this more than Brock does. Brock doesn't really need those kinds of ones. But I do hope that we're getting the Hurt Business soon, because I loved my favorite little moment late in wrestling lately was when they were doing the whole Austin Theory show with MVP, and Lashley came out and said, "Yeah, that's right. Listen to your daddy." And MVP said, "Yeah, I'm not even involved in this anymore." I love how MVP immediately was like, "Yep, I'm out of this one."
I have a pretty good feeling this match may go on second, and I wouldn't be. I know we've all picked Lashley here. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets declared no contest. They kind of started this. I think the rematch will be at Mania, the blow off. There's going to be the same thing. Yeah, there's going to be something that's going to happen where they fight to the back, they beat the crap out of each other. Ref gets knocked out, or they just keep throwing referees out of the ring. Who knows? But I really feel like that's really what the match is going to end up being. But
can I do one thing that I very seldom, if ever, do?
What's that?
Can I give Brock Lesnar his props on it, because that whole thing about the bedroom was hilarious to me. So I climbed in bed with my wife, and 4 or 5 hours later, all I could think about is and I was like, ah, crap, that was funny.
There's no way that's believable, dude. You're married disabled. No fucking way, dude. So.
Someone, I wish I could go back and find these tweets real quickly. Someone made like little artist renderings.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Brock and Sable's head, like just over the covers, and there's little bubbles of Bobby Lashley. Like,
yeah, that was great. I was watching. I was like, oh man, damn it! I gotta give Brock his props because that was actually funny. Shit.
All right. Mixed tag match: Edge and Beth Phoenix against the Judgment Day, represented by Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Mike, where do you think this was going?
I feel like this story needs to come to an end. And it's weird because Rhea Ripley's going on for her title match at Mania. So I don't think this will affect it much longer. But I feel like Edge and Beth need to come out of this. And they're in Canada. So I'm going to pick Edge and Beth Phoenix, but I'm going to assume Edge pins Finn Balor. So Rhea doesn't take the pin. I kind of hate to see Rhea beat them to get her momentum going, but I don't know. Like I could see it happening, but I'm going to go with Edge and Beth Phoenix on this one.
I'm gonna agree with you too. Yeah, I think Rhea, as long as they protect Rhea Ripley with this one, she's got a lot more riding on her right now than Finn. If Finn gets pinned in by Edge, it's not so bad, for sure. Tommy, same thing for you.
Actually, I guess I'm lone wolfing this one because I actually see Finn and Rhea winning this.
Who's pinning who?
Personally, I think Rhea pins Beth. And
what's up, Mike?
No. Go ahead. Finish your thought. But something just popped in my head. Go ahead. So I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, Rhea pins Beth. And now that I say that out loud, I want that for several reasons. And also because I feel like Edge is going to have his one-on-one with Finn Balor at WrestleMania. Again, I feel like a lot of this is just setting up everything's going to happen at WrestleMania, and I thought they're going to have like some kind of Judgment Day. I would love it if it was Hell in a Cell. Oh my god, I would love it if it was Hell in a Cell. That would be so good.
There's a reason why it can't be, So
I mean, yeah, because someone who actually knows how to book a Hell in a Cell match, Triple H, is booking it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I flashed back to that heat lamp and I got mad all over again. I'm sorry. I legit I got mad all over again. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Not that I don't want to give Triple H his props because he has definitely improved the product as far as I think we're concerned. But let's also not give too much credit for like being better than crap.
I mean, you're right.
It wasn't really hard at the end there to book better than what had been booked for several years outside of a few main stories, and even then. But anyways, back to the match. So, given two of the participants in there, I almost feel like it'd be poetic and kind of funny if Rhea pinned Edge with the pancake pin. Because do you remember how Edge used to do that in his rated R? In his rated R days, he did it to was it Beulah at the ECW show?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then, of course,
you know what? That would be funny.
And then Rhea's been doing that for a long time recently in her women's matches. So I don't know, it just popped in my head. Rhea pinning Edge that way would be kind of funny and poetic, even though I didn't pick that. I just thought it would be pretty funny.
Yeah, hell of a revengeful thing. Yeah. So yeah,
Burnsy.
All right, next match, and this is the one I think that's actually going to open the show, is the United States Championship in the Elimination Chamber. Austin Theory defending against Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. Guys, who exits the chamber with the U.S. title? I'm going to start, and I think with this one starting off the show, I think you want to get the fans hype. I think there's going to be a lot of show-stealing shit here. But I really think Johnny Gargano is walking away with the U.S. title. Based on we actually got the Rumble, based on how over I know he's going to be, I think it's going to come down to him and Austin, and I really think Gargano's going to walk away with it. So I got Gargano winning this one. Tommy, what about you?
I'm torn, but I kind of want to see. I don't know if I would want to see that, but I'm thinking maybe Seth Rollins. I gotta say, of all my picks of this show, this is what I'm most scared about because honestly, I would say I think Seth Rollins. I wouldn't be mad if Bronson Reed won this just because he is a gigantic destructive force of nature. So but I'll go with Seth Rollins. I admit I'm probably wrong.
All right, and Mike.
I feel like I might be also probably wrong, but sometimes you got to stick up for your big boys, and I'm gonna go Bronson Reed.
I had a feeling.
I did too. But just
you stole a little bit of my thunder. Where I was like, oh, okay, he said it, but that's fine. Again, I have this dream, and I know he's back in WWE, so it's less likely. But Jeff Cobb, Bronson Reed, if you ever want to form a tag team and kill everybody, I'm down for that. And that would be that would be Big E's dream, as we all know.
He would guest referee if he can't wrestle by that point.
I would hope so. So I'm gonna go Bronson Reed. Probably be wrong, but you got to stick up for the big guys.
Well, I don't know because after they booked him to help the Miz, they really did establish that he's like, okay, that was a one-time deal. I'm in this for myself. And,
no, you're not wrong. It was for money.
And so honestly, that's the reason why I didn't pick him is honestly because I figured you were going to. And I just I feel like the Seth's been back on his I don't know. I feel like Seth is having the most fun he's had his entire career right now.
Yeah, Seth, I wouldn't be mad, but he doesn't need it either.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't really need any at all anymore. That dude is.
I was going to say he can't really do anything wrong at this point.
Yeah. I can't believe he got over in those boots. I can't believe he was over in those damn boots. He looked like Proto Man. He looked like Proto Man from Mega Man.
I love all the videos doing the Mario stomp sound with those boots. Internet, man. Internet never stop beating you most of the time.
Nope. The internet will never be defeated.
No. I really hope he keeps those around for the Mario movie that's coming out later this year too, by the way. So
yeah.
All right, another Elimination Chamber match. This one is for a title shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39 against Bianca Belair. It's Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, and Carmella in the ring.
Okay, who's been reading my women's fan fiction? I mean, I have never written this story ever. Deleting file now.
Well, since this is your fan fiction, who do you have winning this one? Who did you write to win this type of match? So,
Rosa Negra, what?
Okay, seriously, Mike, how did you wait to my computer? Stay out of my stuff, Mike. Damn it!
When you shared that other Google Drive file, I think you accidentally added that one as well. It's my bad.
Yeah.
I don't remember sharing that file. I mean,
look,
Asuka. I have Asuka.
Don't share, but no, I'm just
kidding. So first of all, Mike, we're going to talk about that in public. Damn, but
are we still on? I thought we were. Sorry, go ahead.
But I have Asuka for real. Like Asuka's my pick to win this. I feel like once she did the Joker gimmick at Rumble, like that was like Triple H. Like I feel like Triple H said, "Wait, she did what in Japan? Oh, I didn't see that. Holy crap, that's awesome. Let her do that in the Rumble." So like Asuka's gonna go and face Bianca Belair in my dream match. So
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm just. I know everyone got hyped about it. I'm afraid it's not going to live up to what people want out of it. But
fair enough. I get what you mean.
Well, there's time to see, so
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Well, that being said, Mike, what do you think is coming out of this match?
Once again, going to go with a heart pick over a head pick. I'm going to go with Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah,
it's clear they have high hopes for her.
I blame you.
But what bigger place right now? I mean, honestly, across the board, for the most part, you get good matches out of any of these. Probably, obviously, a few more fan favorites than others. But yeah, I'd really like Raquel to have this chance to shine. That's okay.
I didn't even notice that yet.
Steady.
You missed the first hour of the show. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, yeah. I'm also going with Raquel. She was my pick to win the Rumble, and I'm actually proud of that one as well as she did. But I think she's going to come out of this one, and her against Bianca Belair at Mania is going to be fucking amazing. So I really hope that's where this one goes. All right.
Yeah, but I feel like this is one of the best like stacked chamber matches for the women, especially. Yes. I've seen in a minute. Like I really wouldn't be mad at any of these women. Even like I know people are like Carmella, she's a heel, of course she is. But I wouldn't be mad if she won this either because she's just that good and it would be that fun a match and she would be just arrogant enough to play it perfectly if she mismatched. So, yeah.
Bernsey has Asuka winning. Agree with Tommy there on that one.
So. Thank you, Bernsey. See,
another one that if it happens, I'm not even going to be shocked.
I don't think there's a bad winner in this one at all. Like for sure.
All right, finally, undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns against the honorary Hab, Sami Zayn. That pop tonight he got, bringing back the old entrance music, walking to his hometown crowd. Pretty amazing, gives you goosebumps. And they have been building this up for a while. He was taking part in a lot of festivities at Montreal Canadiens games, took part in an on-ice thing. He's got to work on his slap shot a little bit, his accuracy anyway, but... He's been a huge part of them promoting this event in Montreal. The crowd's gonna be behind him. Don't be surprised if in English and French it says if Sammy doesn't win, we riot. I don't know how that translates to French, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a sign that says that there. They are in Quebec after all. But
Isn't riot a French word? Didn't they invent those back in like centuries
Probably. I
anyway?
have no idea. If anyone speaks French, you can translate that. Please throw it on there for sure. But this is going to be a hell of a match.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
This one better still show with all storyline aside. Excuse me. It's going to be amazing. And as I understand it, the Usos can't be there.
Yeah.
Due to some past DUI arrests, they are not allowed in the country of Canada.
Yeah.
So,
Solo can be there, though.
Solo can be there. But why do I get the feeling somebody's going to make sure the Chamber comes down in the middle of this match to keep them out?
That would be awesome.
Why?
Yo, that would be awesome.
But this is Montreal, and there's someone that's not booked on the show by the name of Kevin Owens, who for a long time has been Sami Zayn's best friend. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Owens has a hand in making sure this stays between strictly Roman and Sami, whether he comes down to make sure Solo's taken out or something. It would make the most sense to me. That being said, we were wondering how in the hell they're going to do this with Cody being the one to beat Roman. What we didn't predict was how huge this Sami Zayn thing was going to take off to the point where the breakup was going to be now. We figured maybe it was going to be after Mania, something like that.
Yeah, at Mania, yeah.
Yeah, at Mania.
I was thinking for a while it was going to be Sami kind of costing Roman or something that led to Cody getting the win. That's where I thought like a while back, but yeah.
Yeah, I did too, like for sure.
My prediction on this is this. Sami's going to win tomorrow. He's going to take both titles. And at some point, Roman may get a rematch before Mania, maybe within the next week or two, maybe the following SmackDown, for one of those championships. And then you get Cody to go after Roman for that one championship. That's my guess on it. But with all the hype around this, with all this in the hometown, I know I'm going against the grain here. It just makes sense right now because it is Montreal after all. We know what can happen in Montreal. Ask Guns N' Roses fans for crying out loud when did it come up on stage. But if not, it's going to be Montreal Screwjob Part 2. Maybe it'll be Montreal the other way. But I feel like the stars are aligned for Sami to win this. And I've got Sami winning it. Well, it's said by DQ. They're going to find a way to make sure there's no DQs in this damn thing. I don't know. There's going to be something.
I don't know.
There's going to be declared no DQ on some level. Who knows?
I see Jason's point. I really do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mike, you're welcome to go next. Go for it. So.
You guys know I've been jaded by WWE booking for a long time, and I know it's not even that guy booking it anyways. Yeah. And I have to admit, they've taken steps to alleviate the issues that Bryan Danielson and Kofi have caused previously to their bookings. This stuff with Cody and Sami last Monday, kind of Cody just going into it, being like, hey, if you can do it, do it. I just want the title. It got a little personal with Paulie, with Paul Heyman when he was talking about his dad on that previous promo.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they've set some steps up to protect themselves one way or another. I just don't think I can believe, and if I'm proven wrong, I'll be happy as anything. I think Roman's going to leave with the titles, all kinds of chicanery. I think the ref will be knocked out at some point. I think Sami will get a visual 3 count on Reigns. I think in the end, Roman's going to come away with the win and the belt. Yeah. All right. It's hard, and I'll be glad to be wrong, but I just can't yet.
Tommy?
Before I answer, I want to ask Mike again real quick. Did you get to see the match I talked to you about before about El Generico versus Claudio Castagnoli from Ring of Honor?
I saw parts of it, yes.
Okay. I just want to point that out because anyone who counts Sami Zayn out, I know they're not the same guy, but let me they have very similar move sets, is what I'm saying.
Well, he was
And from what I
inspired
understand,
by
they
Generico as
Body
well.
type.
well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I thought they trained together. I thought I read that they trained together somewhere, but I could be wrong. Or maybe Generico trained Sammy. I don't know. Anyway, my
Sammy
point.
used to wear "I'm a El Generico guy."
I mean, I wanted that shirt just anywhere, damn it. But anyway,
Yeah.
my point is, they're very similar move sets. They got very similar skill sets, and I feel like Sammy learned from Generico how to take on a bigger opponent like that. So, I feel like that's his ace in the hole with this. So, but I don't know, man. I really do feel like we might get not a DQ finish, but like a no conch that'll make no one happy. That's my opinion. Like. So my honest pick is no contest. I really do feel like it's going to be one that's going to purposefully make everyone so mad they're going to order WrestleMania on a premium live event. It's like we are so angry. We're paying to watch the rest of it.
We'll buy Peacock with no ads.
Yeah. Seriously. But I feel like if this is played right, and again, like Mike said, it's WWE, so it's a big if. But if this is played right, and I always say, I say with actual hope, and this is like the first time I've had hope in WWE in a major storyline in years, because being there at the Rumble, the actual concerning silence from the crowd was legit. Like it wasn't like a bad silence. It was like a legit.
Bridgie's right.
Yeah, they tried to get. I said that they tried to get.
Yeah.
I told y'all. Anyway, but that was like legit, like movie quality. I can't believe that was he was the killer all along type of that was what it was. And then this promo this past Monday between Cody and Sammy. I'm sorry, people who don't like Cody and get mad at his promos. That was awesome. And of course, and like Mike says, yeah, he mentioned he worked the American Dream in there at some point, but who cares at this point?
But like I said at the end of all that, he's still really good and makes money. So
Yeah.
So I of course, what more can be said about Roman that we weren't saying 5 years prior to all this because he just wasn't there yet, but now he's there and good Lord. Now it's like
did you see
amazing.
the TikTok he posted after Raw or like maybe the next day?
Nuh-uh, what did he say?
He's just kind of smiling and goes, "If you guys have to hold a pep rally to believe you have a chance to beat me, you don't got a chance."
Yep.
I was just like, God damn, like he's finally like all jokes aside, when we talk about, like MJF's on another level as a heel, it's not right now. Like Roman is killing this character. It's so effortless for him now. It was just perfect, and that kind of condescending, you don't got a chance. It's just like, oh, I love it.
Well, he's one of the best at social media to get himself over too. I don't know if you guys remember. It's this group of kids who mimic WWE entrances when they did the bloodline. I mean, even though he put them over, he kind of did it in a heelish way. He's like, yeah, Usos beat him. He's like, no, they acknowledge me. And I was like, that was just the most arrogant thing ever. And I was like, and I just like you, Mike, I was like, damn it, why do I love you now? What the hell? How did that happen? So it's like he's so good at this, and that's why it's like he has set himself up as the perfect supervillain in all of this.
Oh yeah.
And I mean this in the best way. He is the Doctor Doom of this, because in my opinion, Doctor Doom is one of the best supervillains in all of comic history. Better than Lex Luthor? Nah, not really better than Joker. That's probably where I'll stop. But Doctor Doom, he set himself up as like the king of his castle, and like good luck knocking him off that perch. And can we do it? Sure. I would love to be wrong, like Mike said. I would love to be wrong and see Sammy win it, because I feel like Cody could have a 6-star classic at Mania. I legit believe that they could do that because they have all the emotion going in. But we'll see what happens.
Montreal needs a championship, and I would love for Sami Zayn to be the one to bring him one.
Fair enough.
I'm just
only because I want Avalanche to repeat. So yeah.
After you said that, JC, I'm like, you know what? Do it and then deal with it Monday. I'm
Or Friday. Or Friday.
Well,
Basically.
right, you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
Let him
'cause, like,
celebrate on Monday and then Friday. You know, like yeah.
but like you know, let him have that moment because you know when you see a crowd that gets their hometown person and they get that pop, even if you know you're not from that town, maybe you're not like when you see that moment on TV, it's
Yeah.
special. So you know, the more you say that, I mean, like what? Let him win, and you still got like 6 weeks to get back to WrestleMania, whatever you need, or 5 weeks, whatever it's at now.
Yeah.
Like, let him have that moment because we talked about this too. What is WWE other than moments? What have they built? I mean, as great matches that they've had, they live for that moment that you go, like, do you really remember the end of the Royal Rumble match? Or do you just remember Sammy? Do you remember the Owens Reigns match and things that happened? Or do you just remember Sammy hitting him with the chair finally? Give him the moment. You guys have more than enough brain power to book it back to what you want by WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to come
Yeah.
around on that.
What do you remember most about the '97 Rumble that we went to, Mike?
Austin sitting on the thing. And,
Austin on the thing, but also the crowd reaction when Sean Pitt
oh,
said,
yeah, at the very end. Yeah.
yes, you know, like it had been that loud. And the only time I ever heard it that loud again was the '99 finals in the Dome.
Yeah.
You know, think about how loud it was at the Freeman when Thunder Rosa pinned Britt Baker. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the
amazing stuff.
mariachis came out.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you build up this hometown thing, and like I said, Montreal is starred for a championship. The Expos left years ago. They're potentially trying to come back. There hasn't been a Canadian team that's won a Stanley Cup in years. Montreal came close a couple years ago in the whole bubble playoffs, but you know it's something that they need. And as a town, or that Sami Zayn needs as well. So you know.
I will say there's a precedent set for this, and with tied to a tragedy. But back in 2001, after 9/11, this during the invasion angle, Kurt Angle did beat Stone Cold for the championship at Unforgiven. He held for about 2 or 3 weeks before they got to No Mercy, I think it was. So there is a precedent for this. So you could be right, and he could win it and just lose it back.
On top of all that, Sammy's been a part of the Bloodline. He knows the tricks. He knows the strategy.
Yeah.
He knows what's coming because he's been there. He's been a part of it. And whatever plan they might have, he's got the inside track on it. So, like I said, Kevin Owens is not booked on this show.
Right.
But he's going to be there. And it's also his hometown.
He's definitely going to play a part of this, no doubt.
He's going to have a role in this. Whether he, neutralizes Solo, gets him away from there, neutralizes Heyman, somehow gets the Chamber to come back down, so it's just them two in there. Who knows? There's a lot that could go with this.
On a partially related but not really related side note, if we wind up getting some form of Cody and Reigns, and then I know there was talk about Sammy and Kevin going after the Usos, can I get something like Solo and Gunther for the IC title?
I mean, why not?
Because Solo
would be fire.
Solo is a beast in all seriousness. I want to see him in some big hard hitting matches. And if you're going to go, and if like you also said, if you're going to go Brock and Bobby at Mania, because there was talk of Gunther and Lesnar. There was some scuttle about that potentially being down. But if you're not going to do that, give me Solo and Gunther for the IC title, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm done with that.
All right. Elimination Chamber is tomorrow night, Saturday, February 18th, 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock. It's going to be taking place at the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Like I mentioned, you can watch it on Peacock in the U.S. Internationally is on WWE Network. Check it out. A pre-show is probably going to start around 6 or 6:30 Central Time. I'm not too sure. But definitely check that out as well. Now, guys, I know it's probably a little late to do a 1-minute warning here. But I did want to share. No, and Tommy, it's not the video you're thinking of. Don't worry.
I do have a short thing if when you're done.
Well, let me just share this first because this memory popped up on my Facebook, and I want to give a little bit of context here. This was 3 years ago, guys. Okay, what did I say?
I don't know, man. I heard he's still in Mexico too, though, with Generico.
What are Steen and Generico doing here in Montreal?
They should sit in the crowd. They should sit in the crowd during the show. That'd be amazing.
This video, guys, was 3 years ago.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is your belt?
Yeah.
Does it belong to Richie?
No.
Richie's never gonna take it, right?
No.
No.
My belt.
It's your belt?
Yeah.
Does it belong to Richie?
No.
Richie's never gonna take it, right?
No.
No. So for those wondering what the hell is the context around that, Mike, you were there. Tommy, you showed up late, but
Naturally.
How
Jay
old
still
was he at
remembers
that
that
time?
night. Jay
How
was
old he,
2.
like 2? Yeah.
He was 2. He still remembers that.
We were at Hybrid for pretty much like a showcase.
It was like a student show.
Yeah.
It was before Christmas time. So this took place in December when it was like a toy drive show. And my parents had Audie for the week. I don't know if they went to the Padre. I don't remember what they did. But it was, we had Jay, went to the show. It was at Hybrid. And lo and behold, it gets quiet at the right time for my son, 2 years old, first wrestling show for him to yell out. How did that feel, Richie? His little 2-year-old boy's voice out there. Richie turns around to see who the hell said that, and he sees my son, and he just immediately yells out, "Santa's not real!" You know, doing this whole bit and everything. And my son's just there loving it. And after the show, we're in the hallway, and Tina's holding on to Jay, and Richie's coming out. "You taking my belt? You taking my belt?" He looks at my son. "You taking my belt?" My son, "Uh-huh." And I asked Jay about to show that video. I was like, "Yeah, I still remember that." So that video was a couple months after that. We had just got him a WWE Championship belt, and he was immediately like, "My belt, it's not Richie's belt." He had said that right before I started recording, and he had said that himself. So I was trying to get him to repeat it. But yeah, it's so hilarious that he to this day still remembers that. So I wanted to point that out for you, Richie. Yeah. So anyway, Mike, go ahead, man.
Just real quick.
Uh-huh.
So before we forget, because we've talked about a lot of other things here and recently, never forget that my top 2 people right now, and have been for years, are Claudio and Bailey. So WWE, Bailey carried you through the pandemic era, through the Thunderdome era. Injured herself trying to get back for that first WrestleMania, couldn't be there. Came back, had an amazing feud working with Bianca and stuff, and then somehow by the time we get to WrestleMania, you have nothing for her. Best, you got her on the second day to be embarrassed by the Bellas and embarrassed by DX, except for X-Pac when she was trying to do the Too Sweet. X-Pac finally went like, "Nah, man, you're cool. I'll do it." Comes back with Damage Control. If you do not get this woman a big match on WrestleMania, Triple H, all the love we're giving you is crap. You've had her since she was in NXT. Bianca came out and said she is one of the most underappreciated of the 4 horsewomen. Put this woman in a big match at WrestleMania, please. Lita, yes. Oh my God, is that just called Mike's dream match? What is that? Thank you, Jason.
I mean, he's not wrong though.
Did you read my fanfic, Jason?
Tommy, do you have anything this week? Might as well, since we're
you know what? Sure, just something real quick.
Okay, go for it. Ready and go.
Okay, so apparently AEW didn't make the 1 million mark in the ratings, and the people who hate them want them to close. And again, it's 1 week, guys. Relax. It's 1 week. They're not WCW. It's not going to happen like that. And also, this goes back to what I said before. Yes, we're talking about WWE more. It's WrestleMania season, and one of the best storylines in wrestling history is happening right now. That's not an exaggeration. This stuff with Sammy, with Roman, and now with Cody is one of the best storylines wrestling has ever had. I don't care. I don't care if we'll have those by one or the other, whatever. It's one of the best storylines wrestling. It's getting an amazing payoff. We care about Elimination Chamber, like legit care about the whole thing. That's how big this is.
Yep.
We care. So you know what? AEW is fine, and it kind of reminds me of what what Mike said earlier. Yes, WWE is finally having good booking. Yeah, it's slightly the crap we'd seen for the past so many years. So yeah, you know what? If this had been happening all along, we might not even had of AEW because it's horrible to watch from the beginning. So
Yep. You're not wrong.
Very true, but yes, at the end, I'm still thankful we have AEW. So, but I guess it's what it took for it to blossom, you know. So, I mean,
yeah, so
good stuff.
And again, so it's even if it's more than 1 week, big deal. Who cares? I still love AEW. So
yeah, no, definitely.
Catching on there with
definitely. Right there with you, Jason.
I mean, I feel like if that's where they're going after that, her interfering on the cage that Monday. What's the phrase Mike likes to use? Yeah, 6 to midnight. That's the one I was thinking of.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if that is the WrestleMania match, Jason, you can write this down now. My prediction for the winner is me. All right? That's my prediction.
To ref the match.
That's a spoiler.
No way going to follow that.
We have been podcasting since yesterday.
Yeah, it feels like it.
We had an emotional first hour.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. Again,
check Twitter when you get a chance.
Oh gosh, yeah, I saw the alert come through, so I know what this is going. Next week we're going to recap Elimination Chamber and preview Impact No Surrender as we kind of roll on here. And also be sure to check out the Countdown City Geeks website, countdowncitygeeks.com. Mike, I think you put an article on there, if I'm not mistaken.
I did. I kind of recapped and did a results of KickStart My Heart.
Huh?
So I talked about that. That was pretty cool. Maybe next time I won't give the results so quickly, but we'll talk about. I like writing about that. That's been fun. So.
Yep. Appreciate you being on there. I'm got ideas for things I want to write about. There's a few that's going to be on there, and one of which is that this past Monday was the 5-year anniversary of my diagnosis with Crohn's disease. You guys remember all that? I felt like crap for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Happy to report that yes, I'm in full remission from it. It's still remission's not a cure, obviously.
Yeah.
There's still always work to be done. I got to watch everything, but it is something that's very nice to see. I basically had my first colonoscopy since I was diagnosed, and everything. It's just night and day. The results, pretty amazing. So
fantastic.
Yes,
100%, man.
Very happy, and I don't have to get a colonoscopy for another 3 years, too, guys. Yay!
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So, I lost like 14 pounds that weekend too, prepping for that. That was not fun. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone for all your love and support.
I always ask you about going on that diet for when you first got diagnosed. So.
It's 50 pounds the hard way. I was basically on a liquid diet for a whole month when you think about it. So,
I remember us where we were still joking with, but you still lost the weight.
Still lost the weight. I was. Look, when I got home from that, like I shaved and cleaned up, and I looked at myself in the mirror. I did not recognize myself. I was like, "Who the hell is this?"
I saw high school JC there again. And I was like, "Whoa, man!"
I felt like I was skinnier than him. It was weird because I was just so like bone and everything. I swear to God, I looked like Katie Lang. It was just the crazy, So I don't know. Burzy, I had it for 5 years, for sure, and I used to be chunkier, But it's I'm sitting actually a little heavier than when I was diagnosed, so I put a little bit weight back on, and it fluctuates now. It's winter, but hopefully this is the last of the cold. It just goes away. So anyway, thank you everyone for watching. We do appreciate it. Again, we'll be back next week, hopefully on our normal Thursday day to be talking about what happened on Elimination Chamber. And we'll be previewing Impact No Surrender. I want to do it Thursday because No Surrender is on a Friday next week.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yes. Yep. So, over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, even though it's almost 2 hours later, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. Reach for the
Ooh.
sky.
Thank you,
boy.
everybody that was watching. We'll see you next time.
Adios, Gunter.